What's going on, everybody? We are live with the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James, as of course joined by my co-host Kaelyn. Kaelyn, how you doing?
Oh, it's Friday, so I'm excited.
Right, and we have a special guest with us today. We have Joseph Palacios, who is coming off of a fantastic knockout from 559 Fights this past Saturday in Visalia. Dude, that knockout! I was sent the video by the media guy Edson. Shout out to Edson. He's been fantastic working with us, getting us people such as yourself. You ended it in the third. What were your thoughts going like throughout the process of the fight?
Throughout the entire process of the fight, I'm being honest, I believe his name is Vladimir. Maybe I'm butchering that. Maybe it's Volodymyr. There's a couple of O's in there. I don't want to get his name wrong, but he had me hurt in the first round. I'm going to be honest. I want to say his first punch that he got me with, it wobbled me, it rocked me. I'd never felt that way before, so I was kind of a little nervous, but I also enjoyed the how do I say it? Kind of the new feeling of that. I never had that experience, so I was thinking like, oh, this sucks, but it's pretty cool. You know, I'm gonna fight, hard now. So, so my vision actually didn't clear up until the beginning of that third round. So I had to wrestle quite a bit and grapple with them until my eyes cleared up a little bit. I was, for the majority of that fight up until the third round, I was literally seeing about four of him. I was seeing two of them out of both eyes, and I was just kind of swiping
That's a bad one. That's a
bad yeah. That guy could crack. He was definitely very skilled, and I feel like that brought the best out of me. The third round, in a fight, I'm not overthinking. I'm just kind of living in the moment. So when that third round came, my vision was finally clear. My bell had stopped ringing, and I was able to focus on what my coach was telling me. And he's kind of the puppet master. He tells me what to do. He pulls the strings, and I just kind of do as he tells me to do. And I was just glad to get the finish the way that it did.
So you got to experience almost getting knocked out, but then also getting knocked out.
Yeah. It was a wild ride for me, for sure. Yeah.
Have you ever been hit like that before?
No. I mean, when I'm sparring, I like to go with the bigger, heavier guys. I mean, I spar with everybody, but I like to spar with our big, strong guys so I can test my chin, so to speak. Might sound kind of dumb, but I want to see if I can, handle that pressure and that power. And I get cracked pretty often. I'm not the best guy in my gym by any means, so I'm getting lit up quite a bit. But maybe it was those 6-ounce, 4-ounce gloves that we're wearing. I'd never felt power like that before, and it was a big learning experience for sure.
So have you watched it? Have you gone back?
Yeah, I've seen it once or twice. Not to like relish on the victory. I like to watch my fights to try to learn what I can improve on. And I don't watch it as myself watching it. I like to watch it as a fan or as a spectator, kind of watching my own fights to kind of have no bias in my own fights. As weird as that sounds, I like to see where I can improve and if the fight was entertaining or not.
So did you get an earful from your coach and corner after that hit?
Oh yeah. They between the rounds they were talking to me, and in some of my previous fights, I have a hard time focusing on what they're trying to tell me. So I've put I told my coach in my corner, hey, if this round goes, or if this fight goes into later rounds, snap your fingers at me or something. Make sure I'm focusing. Make sure I'm listening to what you're telling me. And my coach has been on it for the most part. He'll tell me, he'll tell me what to do, and then he'll usually ask me, what did I what did I just say to make sure that I'm actually paying attention.
That's smart.
Yeah. But yeah, between the rounds, they're just kind of giving me some guidance on how to push forward with the fight, and I do my best to listen. Obviously you can't always do what you want to do, but I was able to do what they asked me to, so I'm happy for that.
So you think after you got cracked with that hit, so were you basically, how did you feel? Like, were you able to hold your composure, or were you kind of like just in survival mode, doing anything that you could to get to finish the fight, or at least make it all the rounds without getting finished?
A little bit of both, as strange as that might sound. Although it was my first time being kind of rocked, I can usually keep my composure for the most part. I'm very comfortable with the uncomfortable at this point. That's just the way that we train. And my body was in survival mode. As you said, instinct just kind of takes over, but you also have to kind of focus on the task at hand. And I feel like I was just able to do so.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy experience. Getting hit so early, making it through the fight, and then end up on top. That's pretty impressive.
That was legit.
That's really great. So how many fights have you had before this one?
So this one was my 4th fight. So I had 3 before.
And how did those go, the previous fights?
Previous fights, my first fight ended with a TKO finish. I got the finish for that one. My second fight, it went to decision. I had a decision loss. And my previous fight before that was a submission finish. So. Okay,
so you're pretty familiar on how to finish your fights then. So that wasn't something new for you.
No, it was my first knockout. So so
you've gotten a submission, you've gotten a knockout, lost a decision. That's okay. So you pretty much got to experience all kinds, the different kinds of wins. I think that's so great because, a lot of times you'll find a guy that is a striker and, he gets all these knockouts, but never gets to experience the submission part because he's not a wrestler. He doesn't want to take it to the ground. But I find more and more fighters and a lot of more amateur fighters are having different types of wins where they are getting subs and knockouts and decisions and whatever else. It's kind of crazy. All the people coming up now are well-rounded, it sounds like. So that's interesting to bring into the fight game because, you do have those stereotypical knockout artists or just a submission artist. So I am excited for all the new fighters like you coming up and could possibly be in, UFC or Bellator or whatever organization you end up going to. You're going to get a little bit of everything. I think that's really exciting for the future of MMA. I'm not that the past wasn't exciting. That was very exciting. But now
the past was amazing.
I know. But now everyone's getting more well-versed in all aspects of it. And I think that's really cool. What's next for you?
We're not too sure. I just I let my coach, who is also my manager, kind of do as he pleases. He'll tell me, how do you feel about fighting this month? Or, are you injured? How do you, when do you want to get back in there? And, my answer is usually always the same, which is, as soon as possible, man. Like I'll fight whoever, whenever you tell me to fight them, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to sound like a tough guy. I just really enjoy fighting, and as long as I'm healthy, I want to keep continuing. And if I could fight every month, that's what we're trying to do. And we're actually aiming for June, I believe. So we haven't got any contracts or anything yet. So nothing's official, but we're working towards getting in the ring again, or getting in the cage again sometime in June. So
are you concerned at all about the hit that you took? Are you concerned maybe you should wait a little bit, get health, you say you're healthy, of course you probably feel great. Are you concerned at all about taking that hit and experiencing what it felt like to actually almost be knocked out or rocked, and maybe I don't know. Are you trying to get back in there right away, or do you want to wait? Or I mean, how do you feel?
I feel
you
great.
Won, but you did take that hard hit. So how do you feel?
I feel great. It's like my coach tells me all the time. You're in a fight. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit hard. This was a real good test for me. I feel like it really pulled the best out of me. I feel like, and it made me kind of confront myself with deciding what kind of fighter, what kind of man I'm going to be moving forward from here. As far as the hit, or as far as the fight is concerned, I didn't get any injuries. I feel healthy. Just a couple big shots, which is expected. Yeah. I feel good mentally as well as just physically. So
that's good. I know. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Kat Zingano from when she was in UFC. Mm-hmm. She, I believe, had beaten Amanda Nunes at the time, but she had taken a very hard hit. Even though she won, she ended up having issues because of that hit that she did take, even though she won the fight. I was always just been curious about that because I've never been hit hard enough to be knocked out or close to being knocked out. So I don't know what that feels like. But so that's why I asked. So I was just curious as to what do you feel like after taking a hit like that? If you do feel normal, are you foggy, or I mean, does it take a couple days, or do you feel perfectly fine?
No, I feel perfectly fine. I don't know if you can see my face.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
I'm wearing a bit of the win on my face, but other than that, no, I feel good. Even directly after the fight or immediately after the fight, no brain fog, no headache. Actually, surprisingly,
that's good.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
just
great.
felt good.
That's good that it's kind of cool you got to experience all that and end up perfectly fine, got the finish.
Yeah, all good.
Hey, you're lucky. That's good. Now you know all sides of it and made it out all right.
Yeah.
You talk about what's next, Ed. I imagine you'll probably have another amateur fight. Any thoughts on going pro?
A couple of my training partners, a couple of my buddies are like, "Oh man, you should think about going pro now." And I'm like, I need more experience first. I got to spar with a pro a few months back, and you want to talk about levels to the game, man, that guy was on another level, and he was at a weight class lower, and he mopped the floor with me. So I was like, I'm not there yet. I would love to be there eventually, but at this point in my career, in my life, I just want to, take it step by step. And I guess you never really feel ready, especially when you're about to fight. I never feel ready for a fight as much as I train, but once we come to that crossroads, we'll make that decision, but in the meantime, I'm just focusing on the next fight,
All right, Joseph, I know we have a deadline with you. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before you go?
My coach, my team, my family, 805 Kickboxing, Santa Maria, BJJ, all my teammates, those guys, they put me through it, and that's why I'm able to kind of continue going forward. Obviously my family as well, they support me, and all my friends, close friends, and everybody that has supported me this whole time. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Congrats on the win. I look forward to seeing who you're up against next. Hopefully you'll make your way back through to the 559 again. We'll see you compete. Yeah. So have a good weekend, because we're already there. So we'll talk to you later, Joseph.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right. That was Joseph Palacios. He was I can't wait to interview him again. Like,
I know.
Now
for this guy,
because we finally interviewed somebody that was after the fight. Usually we interview a bunch of people pre-fight. So that was really awesome. Yeah, that was after the fight. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it gave us a different dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I really look forward to doing more interviews like that. It was great having him on. And yeah,
he's pretty unique.
we look forward to it.
He's gotten all kinds of
his
wins.
story. Yeah.
And he hasn't had that many fights yet. And he's gotten to experience like a lot of aspects of being in trouble during the fight, and also all those finishes that he already has. That's pretty cool. I like seeing that. I feel like more fighters are going to be like that nowadays because they do start off so young and they get all this experience and they're well-rounded. But that's cool. That makes me really excited for amateur fighting.
Right. Completely agree. All right. Now, the UFC was last weekend, of course, and we always talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me pop that up. There we go. All right. Jessica Andrade with that finish.
That was interesting.
That was nuts.
Never been done before in the UFC.
No.
Let alone a female. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. But I always feel like Jessica Andrade has that inside strength once you get in the clinch, or if she clinches you up, she gets on the inside and she can really do some damage there. Clearly she has a lot of weapons. That's interesting.
Yeah, she
I
did
hope
fantastic
she
in
gets
that.
some kind of an award or something from the UFC for doing that, being that she
got performance of the night.
I get that, but I want something else. I want I don't know.
Submission of the night?
Something. Give her an award at the end of the year or something like that, Just because it was so unique.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No one's ever done it before. Make it a record or something. I don't know.
And then Clay Guida lost by submission. I don't recall what submission he got caught in.
Was it an E-bar? It was an E-bar.
Oh, was?
Yes. Because this guy has done like 2 or 3 of them before, which no one else has done that in UFC either, I believe. Unless I'm wrong.
Nobody goes for that. That's a thing of beauty.
But this guy does, and he did it again to this guy. So that sucks. Clay Guida, I think he's
now
fine.
that I know that Clay Guida got beat by a leg lock, I'm not as disappointed as I thought.
Yeah, it's a little rare though to see that.
Very much so, because you hardly ever now do you see a leg lock.
Yeah.
Usually a leg lock is a transition to something else or a scramble.
But also this guy's done it a few times. I feel like I'm sure he knew that, but probably didn't think he was going to get in that position and then ended up there.
And then we have Maycee Barber getting the win.
Yeah.
With the decision over Montana De La Rosa.
Yeah, I like both those girls, but Maycee Barber has another fight scheduled already, which makes me excited.
Yes. I don't recall who it's against, but yeah, I did see that she already has another fight set up.
Yeah, so she's replacing someone, and I don't know who she's
not
fighting.
Taking much damage.
No, I don't think she did, but she's a replacement for someone, and I don't know who, and I don't know who her opponent is either. I got to look into it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't prep for that because I didn't think we were going to get that far with her about her. So
yeah, I think she was just really eager to get back in there. So I think she told him, put me in. And
yeah, to get right back in there. She's pulling a Donald Cerrone, but on the lady side.
I believe it's in May or June, so it's coming up fast too. So
yeah, especially with May in 2 days.
That's God. You're right.
I know. This time goes fast.
I know this. I already know this. Time goes by fast, and I still get surprised.
All right, and then there's a UFC event this weekend. It's a fight night. It's Rob Font versus Marlon Vieira. And did you hear about the weigh-ins for this?
So Rob Font missed weight. Was that right?
That's correct.
I don't know by how much.
I believe a little bit over 2 pounds.
That's so much.
Marlon he had 1 pound that he was over, but that was like the okay.
It was the limit, right?
Yeah.
They give you a 1 pound limit, I think.
Mm-hmm. And that's he hit that, but Font did not. And so Font has to give up 20% of his fight purse, which will go to Vieira. And I'm going to take Vieira.
Yeah, Chito Vera is one of my top favorite fighters, actually. He's very good. I think he'll win this too. Sucks for Rob Font that he missed weight. That sucks.
It really does, because I know a lot of these guys are at least in the bantamweight division have been chomping at the bit, and especially with Rob Font being ranked number 5.
But also, he's the main event.
That's a bigger deal too. Yeah, there's a lot of contributing factors, but it sucks that he didn't make weight.
Yeah, well, it happens, I guess. But 2 pounds, okay, something went wrong. At least it's not like 5. I've seen that
Very
before.
true. Very true. And then we got a legend on the card. Let's just call him a legend.
He is.
Andrei Arlovski is competing against the prototype, which, okay, I'm just going to shoot you straight. I see this guy. He's on the heavier side. Of course, he's a heavyweight.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say he does not look like a prototype of anything.
Are you fat shaming him?
Yes, as a fat person, I am. What now?
Oh, you're going to get canceled.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I am fat shaming him. As a fat person, I am fat shaming him. He might be like a great striker. I don't know. I personally don't care. He's fighting on Andrei Arlovski. I'm taking Arlovski. But this is a gateway fight. So he could, surprise us. I know he's competed on UFCs before. Yeah. Yet he doesn't look like much of a prototype. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there's a lot of heavyweights out there that don't look like it either. So
that's very true. And calling him the Chubster would be really messed up. So, I mean, unless he was super cool with it, because, I mean, I've had some wacky nicknames throughout my life. So it is what it is.
Well, I'm picking Andrei Arlovski for this one. We could be wrong. We totally could be wrong, but I always
if I'm wrong, I want to see that fight. If it goes to decision, I'm not going to watch it. I'll be honest. But if it ends in a TKO, KO, or submission, I'll be like, okay, I want to see how this played out.
Yeah. We've seen Andrei Arlovski get beat before too, so that's not new if it did happen. But
true.
God, he's so, man. I don't know.
He's still fighting. That's the thing.
He's been around 20 plus years in UFC. Is that right? I think that's right.
Ooh, that might maybe 20
maybe since his
years.
Debut, 25 years in whatever organization that was.
Maybe in MMA, but I won't say in UFC. Yeah, I want to say maybe 20 years in UFC.
15 in UFC, maybe 15.
I can see that. Maybe a little bit longer than that.
Maybe. Yeah, I think he started in UFC like in 2000. I don't know, 4-ish.
Because he fought Tim Sylvia early on for the heavyweight title. So, and was a heavyweight champion at one point.
Yeah. But all those other organizations that he fought in also.
True. Very true.
I don't remember exactly what they were, but he's had a very long career. I don't know if you looked at past pictures of him and what he looked like in his earlier years.
He was super shredded.
Yeah, it's funny because
he looks like more of a prototype than Jake Collier.
Yeah, but it's funny because you could tell he still kind of got it, but he's older, so it's not exactly what he was.
Right.
Cool, though.
And then we have Andre Feely, who's competed through Tachi Palace fights. So, of course, we're going to mention that. I miss watching
him. He needs to be fighting more often. I feel like he doesn't fight often enough. He's been in UFC for a long time.
There's actually a story with that is he didn't have a contract.
Oh.
He wasn't under contract to the UFC, and so he had a long layoff.
Oh, so his contract ended. Yeah. They didn't re-sign him.
His contract ended, and
and now they did.
Yep. So that's why he was back there and ready to rock and roll.
Okay, well, he's got 5 more fights to go. Looks like.
Yeah, he just signed a new 5-fight contract, so he's back in the mix. Good. And like I said, we got to talk about him because he's been through Tachi Palace. He's fought locally, so he's fighting. Whoa, Joanderson Brito.
Okay.
I'm taking Andre Touchy-Feely because what kind of Touchy-Feely? Touchy is such a great nickname. I'm sorry.
I think it's great. I've been a fan of his for a while, and it's like, man, where did he go? And now I guess we know why. But I always go for him. Seen him lose before too, so I'm like, ugh, that kind of sucks. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's, on top of it. So
I mean, he trains the Team Alpha Male, so you think he better be.
They usually are. Those guys usually are.
I mean, given they're about 4'3", but they're the most badass little dudes I've ever seen.
That's hilarious. Macy Barber fights for Team Alpha Male now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
And she's probably taller than most of them. It looks weird, like when she's around him, because it looks probably like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That's funny. I think I saw God, wow, what's his name? The California kid. Jesus, Uriah Faber. Couldn't think of his name.
The god of Sacramento MMA.
Yeah, we saw him at 559. That's what I was gonna say. We saw him at 559 fights when we were there. And I always almost miss him because he's a little short.
Because you just see him walk by and you're like, "Oh, excuse me, little boy."
No, but no. When he catches your eye, you're like, "Oh, that's Uriah Faber."
And you want to approach him, but he's busy.
He is beyond busy. There's no way you're getting a picture with him.
Exactly. That's when you're all media. Hello, like you have to. No, I'm just kidding. You don't.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. All right. Then we have also on the card Darren Elkins, who's competing.
The damage.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah. That's all. That's all I gotta say about that. He's competing on the card, and so is Christoph Jotko.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to pronounce everybody else's name. Let's be real.
Gerald Mearshart, I think. Mearshart, something like that.
Yeah, I would actually say it completely different, and it would sound more like I'm cursing.
That might actually be a very good fight. Both those guys are actually really good. They usually have exciting fights. So this card is actually pretty good. I'm a little excited for this one.
I am too, but I'm more excited for Andre Fili making his comeback.
Andre Fili.
And then Arlovsky.
And Darren Elkins. I almost a fan. He doesn't fight that often, but he does. He's pretty good though. So. And
then of course a bunch of young fighters trying to make their way up the card to make it to the main card and a pay-per-view.
Most of the time you'll find on the prelims, most of those fighters have already been on a main card at one time.
True. Or are they just trying to make their way? It varies. Every situation is different. Every story is different. Now, I didn't catch the fight
card. This is actually a good fight card. I'm excited.
So you're going to watch it this weekend?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I always intend on doing it.
You should watch these ones. They're free.
I usually catch it during the week. That's when I watch them.
You watch it later?
Yeah.
I'll try to watch it Saturday night as it's happening, and then I'll be distracted and I'll go back and watch it on Sunday.
See? I mean, it happens so, but you watch it. That's what matters.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I didn't see this fight because I don't have Showtime anymore.
I didn't watch it either. I didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to pay for Showtime. Cyborg retains her women's championship because why? She's Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, she is. She still is.
There's Amanda Nunes. There's Amanda Nunes, but then there's Chris Cyborg. Chris Cyborg, to me, everyone talks about Amanda Nunes is the greatest. No, Chris Cyborg is the greatest.
Well, in
their own
organizations, they are great.
Touche. And yes, Chris Cyborg did get beat by Amanda Nunes.
She did.
But how many people did Amanda Nunes retire? Okay, maybe Ronda Rousey. Maybe. We don't know.
That's a big one.
But we know that Chris Cyborg beat the bejesus out of Gina Carano and literally put her out of MMA permanently.
Well, Gina Carano had other things going on, but
no, not yet. When she was competing, she wasn't doing any real acting or anything like that. It was after she got out of fighting when she started doing that.
I kind of thought maybe it was going on at the same time or something.
If it wasn't big. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they say about Gina. Gina, I love you.
We know. I know you love her.
Oh my God. She's so fun. If
Wouldn't
I
that
think
be
I'll get
cool
starstruck.
if she decided to give another crack at it?
I want to say yeah, just because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I don't think she should. I think she's if she trains, that's cool, that's great. But I think she's so far removed.
Oh no, yeah, I don't see any sign of that. I just thought
it
maybe it would
wouldn't-
be cool if she did decide to do that. That'd be really cool to bring back an oldie.
Wow, an oldie.
Well,
Thanks.
she's not in it anymore, so yeah.
A retiree. I like it.
Retiree, yeah.
All right, let's see some of the other fights from this card. Emanuel Sanchez versus Yancey Medeiros. And
oh, I didn't know he was in Bellator.
You do now.
Wow, what? He was in UFC. I remember him. Yancey Medeiros. Damn, I did not know that. Okay.
And he got the decision win. Patchy Mix got the decision win. And then, whoa. Alimale McFarlane.
Yeah. McFarlane.
She lost to Justine Kish.
I'm surprised because
I know that there's some interesting names. I'm not quite sure. I know there's some interesting names because they competed in Hawaii. I know that for sure.
Yeah, she's from Hawaii.
But,
so
yeah, bruh. The only person it's me. The only person I'm excited about is Chris Cyborg. So
yeah.
And that fight went to a decision.
That's interesting.
Agreed. Oh, I do have the story up. I'm a putz. We're going to backtrack a little bit about Maycee Barber. She's going to be taking on Jessica I at UFC 276.
This is going to be
This
is a good one. This is a jump up for her. Jessica I's been around for a long time, and she's pretty good.
She
has. Also, remember Jessica I was the one that had that brutal knockout from Shevchenko, Valentina Shevchenko.
I do recall. Yes,
that was crazy. But no, this is a crazy fight for Maycee Barber. This is if she wins this one, this is going to be a major leveling up, I think, for her.
It'll be a huge feather in her cap, that's for sure, especially coming off of her win and getting back into it so soon.
Yeah.
And this is redemption because she's lost 3 straight. So she really needs this. She needs this win.
Jessica I could see her definitely taking this fight because Maycee Barber is fairly new. I know she's been around for a little while, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
And she's only 23.
Well, she's the future, apparently.
Very much so. So I am looking forward to this fight just because I feel like it's such a contrast that I want to see how it turns out.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's probably the one I'm most interested in. Well, actually, looking at the lineup, a lot of good fights here.
Miesha Tate's
fighting Lauren Murphy, which I think is going to be a really good fight. Because Lauren Murphy, even though she got handled by Shevchenko pretty bad, she still made her way up to the top for a reason, and she is pretty good. I remember watching her on The Ultimate Fighter because that's where she came from, and I didn't like her because she did all right, but she was like super always emotional and injured, and one of those like crybaby stories that they had. There's always one or two at least on the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, so I didn't like her because of that, whatever. But she made her way up all the way to the top to get a title shot, and it's Shevchenko, so you're not going to win. But she still climbed that ladder, so she's still a threat to all the other girls that are ranked underneath her or alongside her. Miesha Tate's going to be a tough fight for her. I think Miesha Tate would get that one because I think she would wrestle her pretty good, I think.
What I'm curious to see, though, is how focused Tate's going to be because she's coming off of reality shows.
Is she?
I want to say she did Big Brother.
Oh, I don't know. I don't give a shit what they do outside of UFC.
Doing some stuff outside of training, and so I'm curious as to see if any of the outside stuff bleeds into her training and causes an issue.
I doubt that. She looks really great. Like when she came back, she looked like she had already been focused and came back. So I don't know about the whatever the crap she's doing on the outside, but she looked good last time. So we'll see. I don't know.
Very true. So that's part of the lineup that they have for UFC 276 right now. And of course, when they announce more, we'll know more and we'll talk about more.
That's another good card.
Agreed. So Jose Aldo issues a call out to Aljamain Sterling. We were talking about this, and everybody wants a piece of Aljamain Sterling.
They should.
Let's get after it.
Let's do it.
That's it.
Please, I want to see how this goes.
I'm pretty sure he's okay. He didn't get he rode Jan's back the whole time, so he should be good and ready to go.
Yeah, he didn't take. I mean, he didn't take any damage, did he? I don't really remember.
I don't think he took serious damage.
He's on the ground most of the time.
Lights weren't out, so
right. So he's not injured or anything that we know of.
Especially after the fight, how much he was running his mouth. You got knocked out. You don't run your mouth like that. If you were out, no. So I think he's good to go. But there's so many people that want to take this on, which is great.
This is the time. I mean,
this would fuel a pay-per-view. So let's get after it.
Yeah. I'm super interested in what happens with Aljamain and who he fights next, because I'm not convinced he's a champ. I'm not convinced yet. I want to see him beat more people, like maybe Jose Aldo or whoever else wants a piece of him, because I want to see more. I want to see what he does in the next couple fights to really form a intelligent opinion on him. Because right now I'm just hating on him.
Oh, I know. I get it because I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we want to see him fight somebody.
Yeah. And you know what sucks about that is I have a feeling he's not going to fight for a while. I think he's going to ride this out as long as possible, because that's exactly what he did when he received the belt by default, that other fight.
Yeah.
That's just kind of seems like that's the kind of guy he is now. So, which is disappointing. I think a lot of people are going to be calling him out, and I think he's not going to respond. I think he might respond with like some smart comment, but I don't think he intends on fighting anytime soon. I think he wants that belt. I think he wants to like
show off.
I think so. I think this is his time to show off and talk shit to whoever he wants and not have any consequences. I hope something gets booked for him this year. I don't know if it will.
Well, we have Jose Aldo. We have TJ Dillashaw, and we have Henry Cejudo. I feel like Cejudo is the far and away like ideal fight.
Isn't the other really in the conversation. Like I think that would be a good fight too. Of course, everyone wants to see Cejudo fight again. Of course they do, and Cejudo knows that too, and that's why he's doing this. I feel like once
he's entered the conversation, but he's not involved yet.
No, but the last time he tried to get involved, he already spilled the beans and said that UFC won't pay him what he wants. So are they going to pay him what he wants now? Probably not. If that's in fact was true, we don't know that yet. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes with him? I think that Cejudo does want to get back into fighting. I think he wants to get back into UFC, and he has a price that I predict that he will come down in price to be able to get back in there. I think he wants to get back in there. I don't know what the price will be, but I don't know. See. So I think I would love to see Cejudo come back more than Jose Aldo fight him. Although I think Jose Aldo deserves it right now to fight him.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I would like to see him fight TJ Dillashaw though, just because of the heat between them. Just because of the heat that's going on right now. How much, as soon as that fight was over, Sterling was just out there just running his mouth about him.
Well, he's a target. He's a target now.
Very true. But that heat, though,
I think he has a lot of opinions based on him, on how he acted with that default belt. That's what I'm going to call it, because it's belt by default, and he didn't win that. So I think a lot of people saw how he handled that, and they're like, oh, this guy is a little B, you know what I mean? I want to get a piece of him. and get that belt. I think they have a legit chance on taking that belt from him. I kind of want to see it.
Right? Those
Yeah.
some fights we want to see for sure.
And then Aljamain Sterling might be really, really great and can beat all of them. We don't know that yet. I don't know that yet.
That's because we want to see it. We want to know for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to see him test his mettle.
Yeah, I want to see that.
All right.
Jose Aldo looks great right now. I think that'd be a really great fight. I think that's more probable because Jose Aldo wants to fight. I think he's ready, and he currently has a contract. You know, it's not Henry Cejudo where he's retired. He's actually in the game right now. So I think that's going to happen, but we'll see.
All right. Francis Ngannou says Tyson Fury fight. He says he wants the fight to be a part of his re-sign with the UFC.
What? Francis Ngannou says he wants.
Okay. So
that doesn't make sense.
Ngannou wants to fight Tyson Fury in a boxing hybrid style, and he wants it to be a part of his UFC contract that he can do so.
So he wants to be a UFC fighter going into the fight with Tyson Fury, kind of like a Conor McGregor type of deal when he fought Mayweather.
Pretty much.
Because
except from what I was hearing is that they want to do it hybrid rules. So they would be basically boxing with MMA gloves.
That'd be fun. Yeah. But, you know, do you think Dana White's going to do that? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, Dana White let Conor McGregor do it.
It's Conor and Mayweather.
That's true. Mayweather sells fights.
Tyson Fury's good too, though. He's a draw.
I know, he is. Fury.
Yeah.
Fury, like, he's bad.
Francis is like, I think he might have a chance with this. So he's going to try and do anything he can to take it. So I can't blame him for that.
And it's a huge payday. It would be a huge box office payday.
He just wants some money, you know?
That he does. Hey, man, from what he was doing overseas, yeah, of course he wants money. He's like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
No, but I think that he wants his boxing fight without getting out of his UFC contract so he can still fight in MMA, which is what he does. I don't think he wants to become a boxer. I think he wants to stay in UFC, but he wants his boxing fight. Yeah, but he wants his boxing fight, and he wants all of it. So I don't blame him for trying.
I feel like I completely agree. I feel like it's for him. It's testing himself in a different style because he's so used to MMA.
I still want to see him fight MMA. I want him to fight another fight.
Oh no, I do too, definitely. But I would watch him fight Tyson Fury. Why not?
Oh yeah, I think everyone would. But I want him to fight MMA in general more. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, now we're gonna. I gotta mention this. Judge orders Jorge Masvidal to stay away from Colby Covington. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Colby Covington, like, man.
Restraining order and everything.
This, dude. Like, y'all should just
hold on.
Sign another fight. Do it again.
This is weird because they're both in UFC, but he has a restraining order on him. So it just doesn't make sense.
It's a stay away order, and he must keep.
Is that different than a restraining order?
I don't know. I was just reading what it says in the article. He has to stay 25 feet away from Covington and 500 feet away from Covington's residence. So, yeah.
That's weird.
This is taking a really weird turn.
Well, I don't know what Colby's angle is because I thought Colby was this badass fighter. Like, why is he scared of a guy? Man, a guy who he's already fought in before
and beat.
Yeah, what is he afraid of?
His friends.
This is a weird move on his part, or God, man, is he trying to like get people to hate him more? Maybe because maybe his Trump thing is like
It's
fading
a new
away.
angle.
Because the whole Trump thing's gone, right? Like that's gone. So now is this his tactic to get people to hate on him more so that they pay attention to his fights like they were before?
It just could be a new angle. Who knows?
He doesn't. I feel like now. I feel like Colby doesn't need an angle anymore. He's been around for a long time. He's had.
No, it's like who cares? He's a phenomenal
you're there.
fighter.
It's like you made it. You got yourself in there. Now drop the act and just be a fighter because you know you can fight. Be already. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he likes to hate. I think he does. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Could. If found guilty, Masvidal could face up to 15 years in prison or a $10,000 fine for second-degree felony aggravated battery with additional penalties possible for the criminal mischief charge. Wow.
He walked up and punched him. God, jeez, man.
Yeah. A first-degree felony aggravated assault charge for allegedly concealing his identity could yield a prison sentence of up to 30 years. Well, I hope that's not the case. I hope Masvidal
people know that's bullshit. A judge is not going to be like, yeah, we're going to put you away for 30 years. No.
You never know. Different strokes for different folks.
The way things are now, I feel like nobody gets locked up anyways, but whatever.
We'll see. We will see.
I don't think they want anything to do with him. I think the story is so dumb. Colby's stupid.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
In other MMA news, Amazon Prime. Oh, that page is not there. There it is.
Hey.
Amazon Prime is now going to feature MMA with one championship. They signed a 5-year deal.
Good news.
That's crazy, right? I'm stoked.
Yeah, because one, I believe, and this was a while ago, I don't know if it's the same thing, but they have their own app like ESPN Plus does, but it's just for one championship. And you watch all their fights live and stuff, but it's like always 3 a.m. during the week on some days.
True. And also,
so I wonder,
from what I've seen with one is they were on TNT.
Oh, were they?
And it didn't last long. Like,
because TNT was like, no one's watching this shit. Because nobody, I mean, the people that know of it watch it, but there's a lot of people that don't know of this organization, which is crazy because there's so many good fighters on there. Maybe this will be better. Prime, I feel like they're going to get a lot more viewers doing this. I like that they're moving to Prime.
I have Prime,
and I will.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I will too.
They have a lot of good fighters right now too. No one's heard of them, but they're good. Some UFC guys are in there.
Demetrius Johnson, Eddie Alvarez.
Man, I feel like if some of those girls from one championship came over to UFC, that they'd have a very good chance at getting to the top.
Like Angela Lee, who I believe is their homegrown talent.
Yeah, Stamp Fairtex is too. But one championship has Muay Thai. So I'm sure a lot of those female fighters are Muay Thai. So of course UFC's MMA, so they wouldn't do that. Maybe that's why it's like this. But they do have Muay Thai and MMA in this organization, which is crazy. But it's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I want to, when they talk about their first event, I definitely want to see it. And
yeah,
I want to see what happens, good or bad. I want to see if it's popular, what the deal is, how people talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. And then in our last piece of business for us, Ben Rothwell left the UFC, or didn't have any more fights and was basically let go, but picked up by bare knuckle fighting. So that, I feel like that is more suited for him.
Right now it is. Makes sense right now. I'm not surprised.
No, I felt like that in general. Like when you've seen his previous fights to where he is now, he seems more geared for this than he ever did for the UFC.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of the heavyweights probably would be better off in BKFC.
Because most of them are strikers.
But yes. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be interesting. I haven't heard anything about BKFC in a while. I don't know who's at the top right now or who's planning to fight or what, but I don't know.
I don't either. We hear this and that, but It just comes and goes.
Unless we totally missed like a couple cards, we probably did. But
and knowing our luck, yeah, because they don't advertise very well.
I know they don't. I wish they'd advertise.
Their marketing
more.
strategy is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
So, but he's there, and we'll be competing, of course, at heavyweight. He was just let go from the UFC, and that's it. Yeah, that's all. I want to know who they're going to pair him up against. I imagine there's some heavyweights that want to go after him because of his name recognition being in the UFC and what have you.
Yeah, it's so crazy that you see these UFC fighters go, some of them go to BKFC, and you think they're just going to kick everyone's ass, and it turns out that they don't. And it's really weird. Interesting. Really interesting.
Prime example is the lady that's in the bikini next to the article, Paige Van Zandt. You know,
oh, is something going on with her? I feel like I read something.
She's
maybe not.
There was an article about her, but it's basically just she's doing a lot of other things. Right now, she's in pro wrestling. She's doing stuff with AEW.
Okay. For what?
Because she can.
But for what? What is she doing?
She's just involved in it, and
what organization?
That's AEW, All Elite Wrestling.
What is that?
So, pro wrestling.
Oh,
it's not WWE. It's another promotion. It's a different promotion.
Is it popular?
It is basically the rival to WWE. Even though they say they're not, it is.
Oh, I've never heard of it, to be honest.
It's okay. Well, you're not a pro wrestling fan.
If
you're a pro wrestling fan, you know about it.
Right.
But if you're not,
yeah.
It's on TNT. It was actually on with One. When One was on TNT, that was pretty much grouped with it.
Oh, okay. That's odd combo, but okay. Okay, whatever.
It's the whole, you know.
Is she still gonna fight BKFC, or is that done?
I believe she is, but it's just what opportunity has presented itself right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
I don't think he had anything lined up.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
No, right? No. Hey, good
I almost don't care about her anymore completely. I don't know. If she fought in BKFC, I might watch it again, but that's about it, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Because, I mean, we'd rather see her. I love pro wrestling. We both know that.
You do, so that might be fun for you.
Honestly, like, I could care less.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is because I know she can fight, I feel like she could beat the shit out of anybody she gets into a ring with, including some of the males. So, yeah. Okay, like the difference is when Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock were in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I felt like they couldn't necessarily beat just anybody. They were good, and they probably actually could beat the shit out of everybody on the roster. Mm-hmm. But there were also guys there that I'm like, ooh, I don't know. That'd be a tough test. With Paige Van Zandt, I feel like she would just steamroll all of the female competition that was there. Oh. I feel like the only challenge she would get would be Ronda Rousey, who's in WWE.
Oh, yeah. Well,
actually, she's still there. Yeah. So that's why I'm like on Paige Van Zandt being in pro wrestling.
Well, she hasn't done it a lot, so she doesn't have that reputation.
She hasn't done it she hasn't done it as much. Whereas Ronda Rousey, I think she did a little bit of training after she stopped fighting.
Well, she went hardcore into it, actually, I think.
Oh, yeah.
People got their feathers ruffled about her. Like, they didn't like her at all when she first came in. I don't even know if they do now, but, you know, she's a star for sure over there. But
she sells shirts.
Yeah. I know a lot of the women did not like her coming in there.
Well, yeah, because she was given pretty much an automatic boost.
Yeah, and then
what sucks.
She was complaining and stuff about the hard schedule and stuff, and the girls are like, "You don't think we do this all the time? Like, who are you to come in here and complain?"
When you get treated the way you do, like, no, like you aren't one of us. I think they've more or less accepted her.
I think now I haven't heard any drama lately, which I'm not in that world anyway, but I did hear about it. I think it was on TV or what, YouTube or something. I don't know. Someone was complaining about her, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything lately, so I think maybe that's fizzled out and she's kind of a part of it now, and that's who she is, and she might have a little more respect there.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I have to completely agree with that. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at the MMA Mainstream Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.